Hello and welcome to the Valley. Today I am your host, Janet Michael. It is United Way Day, as it is the first Friday of every single month. So we're on the Zooms, actually on a Tuesday afternoon, chatting with Andy Gale. He is CEO of United Way, Northern Shenandoah Valley. We're going to be talking today about Day of Caring happening on Friday, September 19th. And you can't have a Day of Caring conversation with United Way unless we include Beth Fallew. So Beth is the Assistant Vice President of Fraud Operations at Navy Federal. That's her day job. But her other day-ish job and night-ish job and weekend-ish job is chair of Day of Caring for United Way. What is it, Beth, now 7, 8 years you've been doing this?
Yes, it's around 8 years. Can't believe it.
So, Andy, let's talk for a minute about Day of Caring. For someone who has lived under a rock for all of these years and they're like, Day of what? I don't even know what that is. Give me some history, give me some background.
So Day of Caring is a concept that United Way worldwide, all of us do across the country and around the world, where you volunteer and help your community, but it's really the United Way is mobilizing a large scale of volunteers. So it's great if you can volunteer 2 hours here, 3 hours there, but think about if you could get 1,000 people in one day to volunteer, what that impact would be. So that's exactly what we're doing here in the Northern Shenandoah Valley. So Winchester, Frederick, Clarke, Warren, Shenandoah, and Page counties on September 19th. Be on the lookout for orange shirts. We're really excited to see almost 1,000 people out and about doing projects, helping nonprofits, helping communities, and doing some real good.
For someone who potentially was driving around town last year in September and wondered what all of the people in yellow t-shirts were doing at various locations around all of those localities, this was that.
Yeah, it's an annual thing we are going to do with the United Way here. We're excited. Our sponsors are excited. The community's excited. We get lots of calls and a lot of thank you notes. I was on the other side of this before coming to United Way, where it was a way for, when I was at Literacy, for us to get projects done that we just couldn't do as a staff. It was large mobilizations. You get teams of 20, 30 people coming out that are excited to help work on anything. You'll see projects, everything from painting, landscaping, organization. This year we added admin tasks. So if your team was really good at, say, marketing or something like that, they could help the nonprofits as well. So it's really just a way to get out, help, embrace doing good in the community.
And Beth, adding that administrative component was something you've wanted to do for several years. And this year, we really made a huge effort to try and add that to the selection of things nonprofits could have.
Yes, I was very excited once Andy came on board that we were able to go ahead and implement some changes to Day of Caring. In the past, a lot of our volunteer needs for Day of Caring were around labor, gardening, building ramps. But our volunteers have so many skills. So we wanted to evolve our volunteer opportunities to cater to all of our volunteer skill sets. So, like Andy said, if you're a marketing guru, we'll have a project for you. For those that like to organize offices, those who are good with Excel, there's lots of other admin professional services projects that we'll be able to do.
I joked with you earlier, Beth, that you work at Navy Federal Credit Union. They are a huge force for United Way on Day of Caring. And it's not just because you have a ton of really good people that work there. Navy Federal says, hey, we want you to go out and help and be involved in your community. It's a little bit of both.
It is. It's something that I pride myself in working with Navy Federal is our team members are just great people. They really just want to give their talent, their treasure to what's important to them. And that's something that's so great with Day of Caring is we have numerous amount of projects. We support numerous nonprofits. And so our volunteers can literally say, you know what, I'm passionate about this specific organization. How can I help them? And so we're really just connecting the team members to what they passionate for and where they want to donate their time or talent.
I remember at the kickoff last year, you had a group of volunteers that drove from, I want to say, Northern Virginia to participate in Day of Caring because they thought it was the coolest thing and they wanted to be a part of it here.
They did. Their majority of their teams are out here, so we had quite a few people drive from the Vienna area to come and support their teams and support some nonprofits that they were interested in.
And Andy, that's how these volunteer teams come together is we have a lot of corporate sponsorships in and around all of our localities. And this is a way for them to bring their staff together and send them out into the community to help with these projects as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. The Day of Caring are presented by First Bank. So Scott Harvard and his team at First Bank throughout the region really see this as a way to get involved, get their teams involved, and give back to their communities. Marlowe Motors, Navy Federal, Continental, Q102. Then we have Tully Dental, Shenandoah University, Southeastern Container, Smarty Pants Medicine, Valley Health, Lance Construction Winchester, YHB, Summit Events, Loudon Mutual, Truist, Warfel Construction, Shenandoah Valley Electric, Winchester Oral Surgery, Bank of Clarke, Edward Jones, F&M Bank, Lowell Ridge Community College, the Winchester Group, and United Bank. So we have a whole bunch of sponsors helping. They all have teams. They'll all be out there helping the community from our kickoff party through the projects to our after party at West Oaks.
Here's what I love about that list. There was every size business imaginable on that list. You had your ginormous companies, your big corporations, your locally owned large companies, and then you had service providers and mom and pop businesses that are on board as sponsors. I think that speaks to the community that we have here in the Shenandoah Valley.
Yeah, we're lucky. This is my first year helping with this side, the sponsor side of Day of Caring, but it was easy. It was conversations, it was emails, it was, hey, we have this opportunity. People were excited. They wanted to help, they wanted to give back, and they really wanted to make a difference and get teams, get projects, and really show the community that it's not just writing a check to care. They're actually going to put their teams out there and get volunteering.
How many volunteers do you estimate that we'll have this year?
We're in the 900 to 1,000 range. We've closed out volunteer sign up as of today, just due to the sheer volume. We had some great ones. Navy Federal, again, is our largest with Trex right behind. And then so many smaller companies just want to give back. There's doctor's offices, there's construction teams. There's so many that want to get out and do good. And it's really great when these companies can get out. They'll get to meet a nonprofit. I remember doing this when I was at Woodmark and went to Blue Ridge Wildlife. I had no idea there was a wildlife rehab down the street. The team from Trex is going to be out there working with them. And it was definitely a learning experience that we still felt good giving back. And that's really what we want to do. We want people to feel appreciated, but then we want the nonprofits to see the community's care. This has been such a hard time as a nonprofit. Many we called to get projects were like, we don't know what's going on with budgets, but you still see them all come together to say, you know what? No, this is our community. We want to help. We have actually Shinpaco Industries. They're out of Page County and Shenandoah. They're not having a project, but they're going to go out and volunteer at another organization. So it's been really neat to see people like that sign up. And we see everything from Kids Club and CCAP that have painting projects and things like that to Alzheimer's Association, United Way are doing thank you card writing. So we're trying to run the gamut for all ages, all ability levels. You don't want me or Janet using power tools. Beth, totally capable. Us, not so much.
Beth, you currently serve as the secretary for the United Way board, but you weren't on the board when you agreed to take on being chair of Day of Caring. What was it like that many years ago?
It was actually a great intro into United Way. So coincidentally, Day of Caring was my first introduction. I went with my mother-in-law who is working at Our Health, and I was like, what's this about? That was day one. And then the next year we were able to get Navy Federal teams involved. And then I was just very passionate around it. And at the time, the United Way staff's like, Beth, do you want to help support? And so I jumped right in and then have been there ever since. And it's just evolved year over year. We navigated through the pandemic. We were still able to have Day of Caring during the pandemic, and just seeing how it evolved from pre-pandemic through the pandemic to today is just really inspiring.
Let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about what it looks like now, because there is a kickoff event at Shenandoah University. Teams are going to be spread out across all of our localities, and then they're all going to come back together at West Oaks Farm Market to celebrate the hard work that they've done that day. Can we walk through the logistics of it in the next segment?
Definitely.
Sounds good.
We are on the Zooms for United Way Day. Andy Gale, CEO of United Way, Northern Shenandoah Valley, is my co-host today, along with Beth Fallew. Beth is the Assistant Vice President of Fraud Operations at Navy Federal Credit Union. She also chairs the Day of Caring Committee. We're going to come back and talk more with both of them in just a couple of minutes. Hello, nonprofits. Have a project that's been sitting on the back burner? United Way NSV's Day of Caring returns on September 19th, and your nonprofit can be a part of it. This is the region's largest single-day volunteer event with over 900 volunteers ready to help. Whether it's painting, landscaping, organizing, or repairs, Day of Caring gives your organization hands-on support and saves thousands in maintenance costs. It's simple. Submit your project, let United Way match you with a team, focus more of your budget on what matters most, your mission. Learn more at unitedwaynsv.org/Day of Caring or reach out to dayofcaring@unitedwaynsv.org. Let us send helping hands your way. Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. It is United Way Day, so we are on the Zooms today with Andy Gale. He is CEO of United Way, Northern Shenandoah Valley. Beth Fallu is joining us. She is the chairperson for Day of Caring, which is what we're talking about today. It happens on Friday, September 19th. Beth is also the Assistant Vice President of Fraud Operations for Navy Federal Credit Union, one of United Way's largest partners in volunteers and support. And in case your boss is listening, Beth, you are amazing, and I could not be chair without you as secretary. So there, I've said it out loud, and I said it on the radio.
I second that, and I can't wait for you to work your way through to chair.
Heard, Andy, heard. But you guys just make it so much fun. There's a reason I've been doing this for so many years. It is literally my favorite day of the year. Just seeing everybody come together, smiling, just doing something they love while it's supporting our community. It's just a beautiful thing to see. So thank you, Janet.
But it starts so early.
It does.
Hideaway Cafe is confirmed to handle coffee for us. So Victoria will have everything you need ready to go. Victoria and Greg are going to get up extra early, deliver all the coffee to our kickoff party. We'll have breakfast available as well. It's going to be a fun day.
Yeah,
That's a
Victoria
huge
gets
hit.
me. She will show up with a mocha just for me. I know she will. Beth, have you always done a kickoff event in the morning for the entire day?
Yes, since I've been a part of it, we've always done a kickoff. It used to be a little bit smaller when the event was a little bit smaller. We used to do it out of a firehouse. And then during the pandemic, we actually did a drive-through kickoff outside of Shenandoah University's parking lot, which was a lot of fun. And so now being able to have another in-person kickoff with Shenandoah University's facility is a wonderful thing. Lots of people come. It's just a great time to kick off the day, have the energy. Andy loves to bring in that full energy to get people kickstarted. We'll have music and just a great time for everybody just to go disperse and have fun throughout their community.
It's a fun day. Summit Events is going to be DJing. Ben will be out there pumping some tunes. We'll get excited. Dennis Dysert, who's one of the execs at First Bank's going to come and give us some great words and wisdom and send you out on your way. We'll have food. We'll have snacks. There could be even some fun shenanigans that I have up my sleeve that Beth and Janet don't even know about.
Oh,
So Dr. Van Hooplam at Winchester Public Schools Convocation challenged all of the schools to see who'd come with the most spirit. And if they did, they won a prize. So I think, since I'm asking you guys live on the radio, we should do that for whichever team shows up with the most spirit, whichever project they're on might get a new grant from United Way, possibly.
Or a radio show to plug the nonprofit in the project they did.
There you go. We can
love
do that
it.
too. So look, it's gotten even better. So project teams that are registered will be hearing from me to get their project selected, and I'll give more information on our new little contest at our kickoff party. Big thanks to SU Shenandoah giving us the Wilkins Center. They've been great partners with Day of Caring. They have a team that'll be out and about as well. It's also the conclusion of our community baby shower. This is a great project that teams at Navy Federal, First Bank, and Marlowe Motors have all gotten behind to collect baby supplies. There's a whole list out there that we've shared on social of supplies that go to healthy families, both north and south. So the Winchester Frederick Clarke one and the Warren Shenandoah Page healthy families to go into their newborn baby kits. These items can be donated at any First Bank branch location, any of the Marlowe dealerships. So Tri-State Nissan in Winchester, Marlowe Auto in Front Royal, or Luray Ford. You can drop off blankets, baby toys, diapers, diaper rash cream, things that I'm not aware of, because we actually have teams that'll go and then stuff those in the newborn kids. So the nice thing is Healthy Families connects with mothers as they're giving birth in the hospitals in our region, all of Valley Healths, and they actually will gift you a basket that includes newborn diapers, pajamas, all the things that you could need that you might not have if you're an Alice mom. So it's a really neat way to give back. We can't thank Lisa Adams and the team there, as well as all the Marlowe team, Brian and his guys, and First Bank, Laura Cadden and her team for being collection sites for these. We'll have a truck out at Day of Caring. So if you're coming to the kickoff party, you can bring your donation then. Hopefully it'll be in the event center. If not, it'll be right out front.
That baby shower is a really good example of how one person buying one thing is great and is appreciated, but you get one person buying one thing times 50 and dropping it off at First Bank or dropping it off at Marlowe, and you've got yourself a bunch of different first-time mom baby baskets. The impact is so much greater. It's just like the number of volunteers that show up. One person can show up and do one thing, and that's great. But 1,000 people can show up and do 1,000 things, and that's even greater.
Really is. It's one neat way to see a little action makes a larger impact.
So, Beth, the kickoff is an hour, 8:30 to 9:30. And then we send the teams off into all of their respective directions to do their projects. And then there was the addition of the West Oaks after party last year, which I think was really cool. I think it's a central
Was.
location. It's got the playground for teams that want to go home and get their families and bring them back. That was really, really popular last year.
Yes, thank you to West Oaks. It was a huge success for our after party. The teams were able to sit together with just a large outdoor space. And then West Oaks was prepared with their food. And I have their menu now. They already have the menu ready and set to go. So you didn't have to wait long at all. And you were just outside enjoying the beautiful weather, networking. I actually believe we had some sparklers last year as we were sparking that change, Janet. But yes, West Oaks is a great venue for our after party.
They're great partners. They might actually have a project again, so you might get to sign up to help at West Oaks. And then a portion of sales actually go back to the United Way. So it's a really neat way to give back. There could be a surprise beer collaboration between United Way and Winchester Brew Works coming. We'll see. It's going to be a really fun event for those that did the Day of Caring, but also say you can't get a team because registration is closed if you're just hearing about Day of Caring and really want to get involved. Sorry, not this year, but next year.
We'll take your projects, but we can't take any more volunteers.
For now. But what you can also do is say your team can't make it, or say you work in a space where you can't give a day to the community. You can still go bring your team to lunch at West Oaks starting at noon. We'll have info there. It'll be a really great way to wrap up the day, celebrate the community, come out, have fun. We might even have some extra shirts for sale. So if you didn't get your cool orange shirt by volunteering, you can make a donation and we might be able to give you one.
There were a lot of people last year that came that weren't part of Day of Caring teams, that just came because they couldn't do Day of Caring proper, but they wanted to support in some way. And I mean, you can't go wrong with a lunch from West Oaks. It's not like that was a bad idea.
No, it was great. I myself, we went after the projects wrapped up, and then when my kids got out of school, grabbed my kids, and then came back for dinner. So it was a lot of fun.
Andy, projects are still needed. So if nonprofits are listening right now, say Phoenix Project or Esther Boyd Animal Shelter or some small
Any nonprofit.
nonprofit that really needs an office cleaned or a wall painted or landscaping done, their yard mowed, a deck built, something, we're still looking for those, right?
Yeah, definitely. We will take some more projects. We have a lot of volunteers doing some great things, but any nonprofit 501c3 that needs help, whether you're a small food pantry, we had one this morning call from Strasburg, the Compassionate Cabinet, the food pantry in Strasburg called. They added in, they're going to have some people come in. This is really for nonprofits. This is a way to get as little as 2 people, as many as I'd give you 200 if you're big and you want them. But we'll take as many as you want and get people there to do that list you just can't get to. As a nonprofit leader, there's always things that are on my running to-do list that you prioritize and you do what you can. You keep moving because the need's there, the work's there. You're wearing a lot of hats. 3 are sticky, 1's on fire. And this is a way to get people that want to do that. It's a chance to get projects done that you don't have the capacity, the time, the skills for. Get those people in to do it. Whether you need something built, something clean, something painted, you have people that want to give back and do it where you don't have the time to do it because you're doing 19 other things.
Beth, I envy you in a way because last year at the wrap up party at West Oaks, I talked to a bunch of the different volunteers on the teams. I remember there was one group that was from Navy Federal and she got to operate like heavy equipment. She learned how to run a tractor or do something somewhere. But I only had the opportunity to talk to those people that evening for those couple hours. You're lucky because you get to go to work the next day or go to work on Monday or Tuesday throughout the week and have people come up and talk about the impact that volunteering on these projects has made.
It's so contagious. So they just keep talking about it. I get asked as early as January, Wednesday of caring, can we go ahead and put in the time? And I go out immediately to Andy. Andy, we need to set the date now because everybody's asking. So that's why it just grows year over year, is because of people just had such a great day. It was very impactful for them, and they're just sharing the news. I hear more and more about working with teams, you working with your peers at work, but they're bringing their families involved. And so I hear more of this today than I did several years ago. And it's just, hey, my husband does this. Can he come? And so next year, the husband's going to be there and he's going to bring his company. It just keeps adding on. We just have a beautiful community and we have great people here who just want to give back.
Andy, where do people go to get more information? If it's a nonprofit that wants to submit a project or somebody wants to know again the date and the time and when they should go to West Oaks for lunch, where should they go?
So you can go to our website, unitedwaynsv.org, newly refreshed and rebranded, I might add. We're really excited to launch that this morning. unitedwaynsv.org/day of caring. If you are a nonprofit looking for a project, the fastest way is probably to email me, Gail, Gail, at unitedwaynsv.org, and I'll get you in the system and get you matched up. We will have something on the site for sign up for information for next year. So say you are an org that's hearing about it today with Janet on the Valley today. You're like, hey, I want to go help the United Way next year. We'll get an interest form up right now and have that before the show airs.
Beth, thank you for all the hard work that you have put in doing this event year over year over year. I don't know where we'd be without you.
Very lost.
There's a great committee that is put together to help drive the event. I have several Navy Federal team members who help support the logistics behind it. So we wouldn't be here today without this wonderful team. And like I said, you guys are just great to work with. It's been a lot of fun.
I can't believe you didn't get what I just did. I don't know where I'd be without you. Isn't that like the Navy Federal commercial? These people that don't know where they'd be without Navy Federal?
Members are our mission.
Andy, Gail, thank you for taking the time and for being the glue that keeps us all together. I appreciate it.
Happy to help. It's been fun.
I will be back on Monday. But in the meantime, if you're looking for something fun to do this weekend, I suggest you head down to the Old Town Winchester Walking Mall. Shen Arts Fest is happening on Saturday. You're going to get to see a bunch of local art, some really cool things. I will meet you back here on Monday for a conversation with my friend Ken Slack from VDOT. So meet me back here for that just a few minutes after noon.